Cheating exposed. The moment that broke everything. The message appeared on her screen before I even realized I was looking. A soft vibration. A flash of light. A name I didn't recognize. Can't stop thinking about last night. I wasn't supposed to see it. I wasn't even supposed to be home. But fate has a way of showing you the truth at the exact moment you're least prepared to see it. I remember standing there in the doorway, holding the groceries like an idiot, watching her freeze when she realized what notification had just slipped into the air between us. Her thumb trembled as she flipped the phone face down. "Hey," she said too quickly, too bright, too forced. "Didn't expect you home this early." I didn't answer. The silence stretched and wrapped itself around her throat. Her smile faltered. And it was in that thin, fragile pause that something inside me cracked. Not loud, not visible, not dramatic. Just a quiet fracture that changed everything. I felt nothing and everything at once. The world slowed. Her eyes flickered away from mine. And I knew, without knowing the details, that something was wrong. Deeply wrong. She walked over, kissed my cheek, pretended everything was normal. But her heartbeat told a different story. Fast, panicked, cornered. I hadn't even spoken a word yet. She didn't know that silence was the one thing she should fear most from me. Because silence meant I had already started thinking. And once I start thinking, I don't stop. That night, she pretended nothing had happened. She cooked, she laughed, she talked about her day like it mattered. But every detail she gave was too neat, too rehearsed. Her eyes darted to her phone every few minutes, then away, like it burned. She didn't realize how much she revealed simply by trying not to reveal anything. Humans give themselves away by the things they avoid. The phone stayed face down through dinner. Face down during her shower, face down when she crawled into bed beside me and laid her head on my chest. She never did that unless she wanted to hide her expression. Her body was warm against mine, but it felt like holding a stranger. I stared at the ceiling in the dark, listening to the soft rhythm of her breathing. Slow, controlled, pretend sleep. She wasn't resting. She was waiting, hoping the message she received earlier would go unnoticed, buried, forgotten. But it echoed in my skull. Can't stop thinking about last night. Last night, she told me she was with her friend Maya. A girls' dinner, a movie afterward. No gaps, no slips. Too perfect. And perfect is the most suspicious thing of all. When her breathing finally settled into something real, I quietly slid her phone from the nightstand. I didn't unlock it. I didn't need to. I just wanted to feel the weight of it, to understand how easily a life can be destroyed by something that small. I placed it back exactly as it was. I wasn't looking for proof, not yet. The moment you search too soon, you show your hand. You alert the enemy. Instead, I did what I do best. I observed. I memorized every tell, the flick of her eyes, the stiffness in her voice, the trembling in her fingers. All the signs of a truth she was not ready to confess. But I didn't need her confession. I just needed to follow the lies to their source. And I would. The next morning, I acted normal. Not relaxed, normal. There's a difference. Relaxed is emotional. Normal is calculated. She made coffee. I kissed her forehead. She smiled with a tension she tried to hide behind affection. People underestimate how loud guilt is. While she showered, I checked her car mileage, a habit she didn't know I had. 26 miles unaccounted for last night. Maya lived 2 miles away. Interesting. That afternoon, I checked our shared laptop's browser history. Deleted entries. Multiple ones. People only delete things when they want them erased from the world. Later, I watched her from across the living room as she typed on her phone, smiling softly at something on the screen before quickly locking it when she noticed me glance over. She thought she was subtle. She wasn't. I began my quiet investigation. Phone plan login. One number appeared repeatedly over the last 3 weeks. Late-night calls, short ones during the day. some lasting almost an hour. I didn't call the number, not yet. I needed more. I placed a small sticky note on the bottom of her phone case, a thin strip only I would notice. If it moved, I would know she hid the device or used it somewhere unfamiliar. By evening, she was distant, touching me less, laughing too loudly at things that weren't funny. Guilt makes people overact. Fear makes them dramatic. Right before bed, she said she was tired and turned away from me early. She didn't see me watching her fingers as they hovered over her phone, hesitating. Her thumb brushed the lock button, but didn't unlock it. She was scared of what I'd see, which meant there was something to see. And still, I said nothing. Suspicion is a storm. You don't walk into it yelling. You wait. You watch. You let the wind reveal what the silence hides. The next day, I followed her car. Not close, far enough that she wouldn't notice. I watched her turn onto a street she claimed not to know, parked near an apartment building she had never mentioned. She stepped out, checked her phone, smiled in a way she hadn't smiled at me in weeks. Then he emerged, tall, confident, the kind of smile that said he'd been here before. They hugged, too long, too familiar. I didn't take a picture. I didn't need to. The image was already burned into me. I sat in the car, hands steady on the wheel, breathing slow. Anger is loud, but I wasn't angry. No, I was planning. 2 days later, the final piece arrived. Her phone bill, detailed, time-stamped, a clear pattern, late-night calls to the same number. The number belonged to the man I saw her with. I placed the printed records on the table, neat, centered, waiting. That evening, she walked in the door, cheerful, too cheerful, carrying takeout and humming. Her eyes fell on the papers. The humming died instantly. She froze. I didn't speak. I just watched her face drain of color. "What is this?" she whispered. She knew exactly what it was. I leaned back in my chair, calm. "You tell me." Her hands trembled as she lifted the papers. Her eyes darted across the lines. Dates, times, call durations. Every lie unraveling in front of her. She looked up at me, guilt bursting through her composure. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered. People always say that when it's exactly what it looks like. I stood, walked toward her slowly. She backed away a step, not because she feared me, but because she feared the truth she could no longer control. Her voice broke. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean—" "Stop. Just one word." She flinched. Silence filled the room, heavy, cold. I placed my phone on the table and played a short recording. Her voice, laughing, soft, intimate, a voicemail she didn't know she left. "Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you." Her knees nearly gave out. She covered her mouth, tears rising. I watched her break, slowly, quietly, beautifully, like glass cracking under the weight of its own lies. And still, I felt nothing. Not sadness, not anger, just clarity. I walked past her toward the bedroom. She followed, crying now. "Please, talk to me," she begged. "We can fix this, I swear." I opened the closet quietly and pulled out a small suitcase. Her tears stopped like someone had pressed pause. "You're leaving?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I placed the suitcase on the bed and started folding her clothes, neatly, methodically, without emotion. Nothing is more terrifying than calmness after betrayal. Her voice cracked. "Please, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you." I zipped the suitcase and finally looked at her. "You didn't hurt me," I said softly. "You freed me." Confusion washed over her, then fear. I handed her the suitcase, walked past her to the door, and opened it. "You can stay with him tonight." Her breath hitched. He doesn't want me like that." Then perhaps you should have thought of that before giving him everything you claimed was mine." Her tears fell faster. "I love you," she choked out. "No," I said, voice low. "You love the attention. You love the thrill. You love the lies. But me?" I stepped closer. "You never loved me. You loved the version of me you could betray without consequence." She reached out. I stepped back. The rejection hit her harder than any shouted argument could have. Quiet devastation is the most brutal kind. She knew she couldn't fix it. She knew the moment had already passed. And worst of all, she knew I wasn't angry. I was done. She left that night, suitcase in hand, head down, tears dripping onto the floor she used to dance on. The door closed behind her like a final heartbeat. The apartment felt lighter instantly. Empty, yes, but honest. I sat on the couch, letting the silence settle, not to mourn, but to breathe. People think heartbreak is loud, screaming, breaking things, slamming doors. But the real heartbreak is quiet. It's the moment you realize someone you trusted became a stranger long before you caught them. She texted me the next day, long paragraphs about regret, voice notes filled with sobs, missed calls piling up like evidence. I answered none of them. She didn't deserve my anger. She didn't deserve my forgiveness. She deserved my absence. And that was the coldest revenge of all. I changed the locks, blocked her number, deleted the photos. Not out of spite, out of clarity. Her betrayal didn't destroy me. It revealed me. I had spent years loving someone who couldn't understand the weight of loyalty. Now I could finally walk without dragging her shadows behind me. When I stepped outside that evening, the air felt cleaner, sharper, real. I wasn't broken. I wasn't bitter. I was free. And the moment that broke everything also rebuilt me.